Food Court, the movie podcast where John
and Sean and also
Josh.
We had one
watch
job,
shit,
folks. We had one
talk
job.
shit, and most importantly, we eat shit.
Eat shit.
Well, for
the
Twitch audience, we just flubbed that pretty badly. But luckily, for the podcast, we can just redo it. We can just redo it right now.
Oh,
so
let's
I'm
do
going
that.
to start
You go
again.
Okay.
Since I don't think anyone's watching anyways, I'm going to just start again. So you're going to see how badly prepared we are for this, because we were too obsessed with making sure we had photos of Chris Hemsworth with a vagina and that fine young Lou Diamond's Phillips S actor that we watched in Extraction. But Food Court.
Guess where, Sean?
Okay, so I say Food Court, and then you say the movie podcast where Sean.
Last time you said the movie podcast last time.
I did?
I think you said
Well, let's never do that again. I'm just gonna say Food Court.
The movie podcast where Sean
and John
and Josh
watch shit, talk shit, and most importantly, eat shit. We are the law.
Look at
John,
that.
Josh, how are you?
Wow.
Oh man, I'm fantastic.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Welcome everyone to our Held in Contempt editions. We're still locked out of our food courts by whatever liberal conspiracy COVID has been placed upon us. But rest assured, we'll be storming the movie halls and food court halls soon enough. Actually, probably never again.
We might go. You never know.
I'm going to go in there and fucking crowd surf as soon as they let me. As soon as they let crowds in there, I'm going to jump. I'm going to be like, boost me up, fellas. So I'm going to go rocking and rolling.
I've been on eBay. I'm looking at either a hazmat suit or what I'd really like is like an old school, like 1940s deep sea diver with like a chrome helmet and a porthole.
Oh, that's great.
Someone said that we should just do the huge Naked Gun condoms. I don't remember who told me that. If I did remember, I would credit them. But huge, oversized Naked Gun condoms. I think we would die immediately, but it'd be worth it. It's a good gag.
You could get some air up there. I mean, it would just be like floor air, which is probably more deadly than
when I wear a condom, it's mostly air. So, I mean, who sized those things?
John's dick is like
it's
like a balloon animal.
I actually tend to blow some air into the condom before I put it on to create like an illusion.
I think they call that cheating the system.
Yeah, you get the lights down low and just enough air in there. Maybe I could even like probably blow like some sort of magnificent, even more let's be real,
Here,
tickler of the bell end.
Oh, okay. A bulbous part.
The velvet edge.
Fellas, I love talking about dicks as much as you guys do.
Okay.
But we watched the film, didn't we? Did we watch the film?
We watched a new release, by Jove.
Yeah.
This is what happened. John said, you got to watch Extraction, and we all did it. That's about as easy as it gets.
Uh-huh.
We all watched it. May I first make some comments?
Sure.
Please, if you don't mind.
Right, but we should add that you told us all to watch Terrified, and
yes,
Josh did it, but I didn't.
Yeah, I read that whole movie. You know how I feel about it. I read the whole movie, an hour and a half of reading moving pictures. It was real tough.
It's a nightmare. By next week, we're going to be sure that John will have watched Terrified on Shudder. You should watch it too if you haven't. It's wonderful. But we watched Extraction. I have to say, this is my first time back on Netflix in a while. And they have not fixed the main problem with Netflix, which is that the moment you play, or the moment you briefly hover over a movie, it plays a terrifying trailer for you, as loud as possible, louder than any movie they have. I don't know. Why do they still do this? Does anybody have an answer?
You don't. So they're trying to create that. No, they don't care about the theatrical experience at all. That's not true.
It made
That's
me,
your problem
honestly,
with Netflix? My problem is
there's-
replacing and destroying the industry we love and held so dear after
That's
sending
that
in
too.
their Trojan horse of sweet Criterion movies that you couldn't find anywhere else, and now there's nothing on Netflix, a bunch of trash, and like 600 Japanimation flicks that don't have nearly enough tentacles in them for my mind or for my viewing pleasure, and now there's no good movies on Netflix. I mean, Extraction is like one of the best movies on Netflix.
Yeah,
and it's a made
really
for
bad
TV
sign.
movie. It's basically a made for TV.
It's a made for Indian TV movie.
Huh.
Yes.
Extraction is a weird
Extraction-
movie. I'm sure we'll get to it. Like who it was made for is strange.
Yes, very, very strange. Do we have general thoughts about Extraction before we get into the plot?
Well,
Big fans.
So I'm a fan of someone, like, anytime you have a chance to have someone from East Tennessee who's found a way to keep their accent despite not living in East Tennessee anymore, if you can let them do the summary of the film, you don't turn that down. So Josh, take it away. Please give us your version of the events of Extraction.
Extraction, Netflix, 2020. The story of an Australian mercenary that lives alone with a chicken in an old shack out in the, I think he would call it the bush. One day he just likes to drink and fall off cliffs in the water and meditate. And then one day a beautiful woman came and said, "Hey, it looks like you're running low on Oxycontin. You want to make some money?" And he goes, "Okay, come back tomorrow." And next thing you know, he's an Indian. And there's a kid that goes to smoke pot, and then cops come up and shoot his friend in the head and then put him in a trunk or something. And then there's talk between one dude that's in prison. He's like, "I'm going to get your son." And the other one's like, "You better not." And he's like, "You're in prison. You can't do anything." He's like, "Okay, I'll probably pay somebody else money to do something like this." Next thing you know, it's John Wick stuff, and then Thor or whatever dies. And then a sniper. And then,
Or did he? Or did he?
Who knows?
Spoiler alert.
At the end of the movie, at the very, very end of the movie, the beautiful woman. Before that even happens, one of the main bad guys that cuts off little kids' fingers is taking a piss at a urinal. A really nice bathroom, like a quality bathroom. But if you look at it, and this is from me doing a little bit of handiwork in my life, the grout sucks. Why would you build a fucking virtual, like, beautiful bathroom and not fucking have somebody come over and make the grout good?
Right.
You know? Anyhow, so he's sitting there fucking just spraying it, and then next thing you know, he looks over, it's that hot chick, and I was like, "Oh my God, she's a man," and she blows his brains out. The movie goes on. So I guess she was a man the whole time.
First of all, he was completely unflummoxed by this beautiful woman standing at a urinal next to him.
Yeah.
She doesn't, like,
an absurdly
I feel like
gorgeous
a more effective
woman.
Use,
Yeah.
like, she should have come behind him and been like, he turns around. Oh, it's a lady in the bathroom. No, she saddles up next as if to use the urinal.
Yeah. That's the reason why I'm pretty sure. I mean, we can all be gender fluid now, and I'm fine with it.
Right.
Did y'all catch that? Is this being recorded? I'm
Yes.
fine with everybody being gender fluid.
I'm actually going to cut
I don't
that part
believe
out.
you,
Just the
but I
part
did
where
hear
you. I'm going to put in a part of me doing your voice and going, "I don't know people who are different than me."
Use one bathroom, for God fucking sake.
Yeah, gender is a construct. It's my dick and my balls.
Yeah. Constructing babies into your, anyway. But she saddles up, and he didn't even go, "Hey, wrong bathroom, bitch," or anything. He just kind of looked at her and was like, "I'm about to get some, pussy."
Yeah.
And then she blew his braids out.
You buried the damn lead that this is the action comeback and return of one Lou Diamond Phillips playing the kind of dark horse anti-hero opposite of Chris Hemsworth's white horse anti-hero.
His name is Saju.
Say that again?
Saju is his name. Played by Randeep Huda. He's good.
Josh, is this you or me here? Did you say
Randy
Randy Puda?
Close.
I think that is
Randeep
Huda.
I think that is a bilingual insult.
Yes.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump into my heroes.
heroes.
I'll go ahead and jump into my heroes' best things of the picture.
I
liked Randy Puda.
Yes.
I thought Randy Puda was way cooler than Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, he's badass.
Yeah.
He gets fucked up real bad.
He kind of reminded me of what's his face from Sicario.
Sure, the Benicio del Toro character.
Yeah, Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
Similar vibes, but I must admit, I would have much rather watched. I would have much rather watched a movie about Randy Puda than what was Chris Hemsworth's. I will never forget Chris Hemsworth's character name because it's Tyler Rake, because he kills not one but two people with a rake.
Rake, yeah.
Which and I suppose he's supposed to have a rather rakish personality, but it's Chris Hemsworth. He just seems perfect. He's just like a perfect guy.
It's like if Michael Myers' name was Kitchen Knife or something. It's just very, very stupid.
Sure.
That his name is Rake. It's
and
so
the
strange.
Thing about, and you say, well, it's not Chris Hemsworth's. I can't say Chris Hemsworth, first of all. But it's not Chris Hemsworth's fault that he's so beautiful and perfect that he can't seem, dubious and rakish and kind of, rough around the edges, because he could. Because we saw, like, Chris Evans in Knives Out plays a dastardly bastard who you don't want to be around with aplomb.
Yes.
Like, he could do it, but Hemsworth just can't pull it off. He's always kind of just going to be Thor from now on.
Yeah. Also, Evans is, like, just a lot better.
He's much better.
In general. Yeah. He's much, much better. Hemsworth, I think, is sometimes quite good in the Thor movies. He's at the very least funny.
He's good at the riffs. He's good at the riffs.
Yes. He is quite, for a beautiful man, quite funny.
Right.
I'll go on record to say I hated Thor Ragnarok, the one that everybody thinks is fucking hilarious. I thought it sucked. It was not representative of the Thor that I know, that I grew up with. So I'll be goddamned if I'll agree with any of that. But before
I had a roommate named Thor in college, and he wore guy liner and got way more ass than anything I've ever seen in my days and nights on Earth.
Yeah.
But my Thor wasn't much like Hemsworth either. I don't think anyone's like Hemsworth. His muscles, they're like a Rob Liefeld comic book drawing. They're like Laocoon, the Hellenistic sculpture. They're not of this planet. He's not real. He's almost Schwarzenegger level muscular at points in his career.
They're unreal. Yeah, he's a hot piece of ass.
For certain.
Did you have any other? Go ahead.
Movie also proves that if you're good looking enough, you can just get away with anything.
Right.
Because he was a mercenary, killed a lot of people, and he just goes out and lives in a shed with a chicken or whatever, and somebody has to come by there and manicure his hair, bring him Oxycontin. People just let him just jump off shit, and it's ridiculous. And then he goes into India, and nobody even notices that this beautiful God man is walking around, and then he starts killing them. And they
starts punching people with bullets.
Crowds of people are watching him brutally murder their own countrymen, and they're just like, let's let him through this gate.
Maybe Indian people have the same relationship to cops that we do here, where they're just like, I fucking hate cops, so if you want to kill them, that's fine.
10,000 of them.
I'm just glad to finally see a cop shooting at a white person for a change. It didn't seem very realistic because the cops are all after Hemsworth, and I'm just like, well, there are brown people you could shoot all around you. Why aren't you? I mean, if this was America, they would just start shooting themselves in the head.
Exactly. If this was America, they would just turn and shoot to each other.
I love that Josh left out all the thematic elements and all the subtext and all the stuff about the kid needing a father figure and all the stuff about Chris Hemsworth's clearly, obviously dead child that he keeps having flashes back to. Because honestly, this is the worst part of the movie and not necessary.
No, it is the worst part of the movie.
I might be spoiling our low man, but it's not something that this movie I thought pretty cool. But I think you could expound, Sean, by giving us your Euro of the picture.
Okay, let me go in. I think the most obvious Euro, so I won't use it as my Euro, but I will bring it up, is the big car chase is, I think, the most obvious Euro because it's badass.
Yeah, it's like a 10-minute oneer, as they say, or is this an Australian filmmaker? I don't know this guy's name. Would he say
He looks familiar. I feel like he...
He's a
Go ahead.
stuntman. He like plays. I think he's like not Thor's stunt double, but I think he's Captain America's stunt double, and he's like the stunt
He's
director
in the
for all
movie.
the Marvel stuff. Yeah, he plays the sniper.
Yes, he's kind of a badass. His beard is very
yeah,
big.
that dude was awesome. Yeah.
That's the director.
That's the director. But there are two favorites. I'll do the second most favorite and then the most favorite. Second most favorite, he steals a man's cigarette and then he smokes it and then he blows the smoke out of both nostrils like a bull.
Real fast.
That's number 2. Real
Yeah,
fast. Yeah, he goes, "Bap, pew," and he shoots the smoke out of there. Number 1 by far for me is he just beats up a bunch of child soldiers. He's just there's child soldiers and they're pissed off at him because they have to be. That's their job, to be pissed off at anybody that their brutal boss tells them to beat up. And he just beats the shit out of some child soldiers. He hits them with car doors. He throws them through windows. I think he karate kicks one. It's fucking awesome.
We get
I
a
love
lot
that
of
part.
literal and like symbolic child abuse in this film.
Yes.
There's like there's very early we get child shot in the head foo. We get car door child slammed their fingers shut foo. We get mule kick foo to a child. I mean, we
Yes.
get Joe Bob needs to see this movie and just do the foos that involve fucking up kids because it's everywhere. And then you get the psychic scarring of the father and the son. I mean, it's a little much at times, but really this isn't a movie that you watch for anything other than the action scenes.
No.
And I
definitely
think the action
not.
scenes, like, if this movie, like the hipster in me, if this movie starred like Scott Adkins and was directed by Jesse Johnson, I'd be telling everyone in the world to watch it. So I feel like I still need to tell everyone in the world to watch Extraction.
Yes, people should definitely watch it. I mean, the big car chase is fucking badass.
Yeah.
There's lots of really good shit in there. I mean, there's tons of... I mean, there is this one thing where it's like, when I see a big oneer like that, sometimes
You're looking for the cuts, aren't you?
Well,
You're looking
sometimes
for the
I
cuts,
just
you
get
son of a bitch.
annoyed
It's
by
hard
the
not.
fact that there aren't cuts.
Uh-huh.
It's just like, just cut it.
Right.
When they do those things where they get really close to someone's back, it's like, just cut there. It'd be fine. Nobody's going to get mad. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It
but
doesn't
the
have to
camera's
be
like,
one big
all right,
shot.
we're going to look at the blackest part of the world for one moment. And we're back.
Yes.
Come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Josh, you're our
but the
Bollywood
big-
expert.
Go ahead.
What was your favorite thing in the movie?
So can I do 2 of them also?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Number 2 would be the nonchalant use of Oxycontin throughout the field. Is just they're just eating them like candy and just going about their day like nothing's going on. It's like, yeah, my knee hurts a little bit. So
I didn't notice that it was Oxy. It was Oxy.
Yeah. Whatever dude from Stranger Things, the sheriff from Stranger Things, he's like, ooh, I'm feeling a little rough myself. And he starts washing it down with like fucking old granddad liquor or whatever. So that's one of them. But
That's a great one.
My number 1 is a child abuse one also.
Yes.
Makes
Bunch
sense.
of kids on a roof, and somebody's like, hey, who stole this thing? And nobody would say anything. So big fat man came over and just went, I'll take you. And the kid was like, no, and took him, and within seconds threw him off a building to his death, where you heard him go just flat. And then they turned around and went, does anybody want to say who stole something?
I rewound
And I
that
was like,
scene twice because I was like,
great.
there has to be like a splash sound effect to show that he landed in water. And I rewound it, and it was like, no.
No.
He landed on
killed
some
that
other
little boy.
Indians.
Yeah, just a stack of dead kids down there. Come on, guys. We're running out of resources.
And that's the second kid killed in that movie, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird because it's like kill kids, kill kids, kill kids, kill kids. Tender moment with child. Tender moment
Yes.
with child. Kill the kids, kill the kids, kill the kids, kill the kids, kill. Flashback to a beach scene with a little Aryan nation perfect Hitler youth child. Hemsworth's dreams. Kill kids, kill kids, kill kids, kill kids. Bonding for no reason at all with this Indian child. Kill kids, kill kids, kill kids. And then movie ends with a single child who maybe, just maybe, his protector lives still. Hemsworth, is he dead?
Yeah. He's not dead.
Did they kill Tyler Rake?
I mean, he
I
must
think
be
Josh
dead.
thinks he's dead.
I think he's dead.
How can he be dead?
I hope he's dead.
I want to
I'm not
know,
saying-
Josh, did you notice the man behind the kid at the end of the movie?
No, I think because my whole focus, my whole memory went straight to that bathroom scene
Right.
where the man's peeing in a poorly grouted bathroom and a woman walks in that I was in love with. And then I'm like, is she a man?
Crying
And then
game.
she kills him. Yeah, crying game happens. And then she blows that guy's brains out to keep her secret, I bet.
Yeah.
And
Maybe,
I'm
Josh,
leaving.
this is just a sign that you need to be more open with who you love.
You know what? This is a very special episode of Food Court after all.
We're
Is
learning
this
so
your Uncle
much.
Phil episode, Josh?
This is an Uncle Phil episode. Wait, what? Which one was that? Is that the?
Why don't he love me, Uncle Phil?
Oh God! If TV still did, does TV still do that? Does anybody watch TV anymore?
We watch Netflix.
Yes.
We watch Extraction, which is a weird movie because it's obviously made like eyeing an Asian audience, and it's not that most movies keep that factored in, but this and then that new Michael Bay movie seem like they're really kind of fashioned there first, and this really is just kind of. I don't even know if they were really going for the huge numbers they're getting in America. It just happened to coincide with this COVID thing because I think this was really made with an Indian audience in mind. Bringing me back to my favorite thing, which I already went over it, but I want to talk about Randy Puda some more because that's the type of role I love.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets his. You gotta love it. Going back to Chinatown, you gotta love a good nose mutilation.
He gets his nose fucked up bad.
You gotta love an actor who's willing to he'll look at a script because that dude's a very good looking guy. I mean, Lou Diamond Phillips has aged very gracefully, but it's great to see a guy who's like, oh yeah, I get a scene where my face gets destroyed, and I squirtily pop my nose back into place, and then look like Carl Malden for the rest of the film, and I want to do this. I'm in.
His face gets smushed up, W. Field style. He looks fucked up the whole time. This is, however, related to. Can I do my low main?
Let me do one more thing that I really enjoyed.
Oh, go ahead.
So I really enjoyed the pace of this movie.
Yes.
I felt it had, even though I didn't care about the moments they were trying to create, the fact that the moments were so limited and used as just kind of like moments to catch your breath before you get right back into another set piece. That's how you do it. That's how you. That's how you take. That's how you take like a roller coaster ride of a movie, an amusement park ride of a movie. We don't want to spend a 15-minute downtime. We want to buckle up and keep this going. You know, we want to be all aboard, and that's pretty much how this goes. And there are not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 killer set pieces in this movie that are just barely interrupted by moments that have like some, I think, rather prominent Indian actors kicking ass at everything they do. I felt like I was very interested in all the non-white folk cast in this movie. The white folk kind of let us down, which, Sean, we'll do your low main, but maybe we'll come back to some white folks in mine.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I've got a few Lomans. One, this is, I don't know if this was just me or I was having a weird day. I feel like the dialogue in this movie was the quietest. This is just a mixing thing or something. I think it was the quietest dialogue that has ever been in a movie. This is a problem with watching any movie at your house.
Right.
Is that the dialogue is always quiet and the explosions are crazy loud. But I feel like this one was just quieter. Like I was riding the volume so hard just to hear the dialogue.
You may be right, but please don't turn into one of the subtitles people. I know you never will, Josh.
No.
This will never happen to you. But don't become part of the subtitles people. It is the only thing worse than going over somebody's house and they have the subtitles automatically turned on is when you go to their house and they have like the motion smoothing on so that everything looks like a soap opera. But don't become one of the subtitles people. You can watch a movie and pay attention. You can watch a movie and not look at your phone. Don't turn on the subtitles. Just turn it up loud and pay attention. Even movies like Extraction with some really bad plotting and David Harbour performances, they still merit your attention because don't worry, they are going to put a gun this close to someone's head and pull the trigger.
Yeah.
100,000 times.
It'll be a teen, no less. They're going to shoot a teen, right?
It'll be an unfortunate street rave.
And also, if you have the subtitles on during like a movie that you understand, like a movie in your own language, I noticed that I just look at the subtitles the entire time.
Right. Yes.
It's oddly distracting.
So, Josh, I feel like we've gotten into this before on this podcast.
But I don't read them. I just look.
But you have an odd relationship with subtitles doesn't cover the ground. You have a battle across time and space that never ends with subtitles. When we have asked for you to watch a film with subtitles, you have not gotten indignant. You've gotten angry.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do it.
But can we get a little deeper on it?
Well, I will say this. I've watched 2 completely subtitled movies this year, which is 2 more than I've probably watched in 10 years.
And?
Maybe 5.
And?
Parasite was good. I would like to watch it. I would like to watch it again because I was reading so much that I didn't get to see certain parts. And then people go, that one part was like this. And I go,
I was too busy mesmerized by those articles and adjectives. I couldn't get to it.
I was like, the Times New Roman font is what I really enjoyed. And then Terrified. I liked Terrified. It was fine.
Terrified.
Next week we'll hear more.
Save it. Save it for next week.
But the reason
I got more low mains, fellas. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
No,
the reason
please.
why I don't like fucking subtitled movies is because I go to watch a movie and it immerse me in an experience, the sights and the sounds, not the fucking reading. You know? Like I feel like if I'm reading something, I'm making up the story in my own head anyway. Like if I'm reading a book,
interesting.
characters look a certain way for me. Fucking landscapes look a certain way in my imagination. And then if they make a movie about it, I just go, okay, that's a separate property and not my imagination. That's the reason why I rarely get mad if I've read a book and then they go, they're going to make a movie out of that. And I don't fucking freak out and go, not ruining my fucking childhood or some stupid shit.
So I think either Josh's eyes are too close together or he has dyslexia or, and this is a third and final guess, and I think this is the one I'm on to. Josh is a true patriot. He knows that here in America, we don't need
freedom lover.
And if we have subtitles, they better be John Wick style subtitles that are in glowing green and fuchsia, depending on the pallor and the tone of the scene. Am I right?
Yeah.
I knew it.
You were so right.
Mm-hmm. I would like to see like for a woman, I would like to see him in cursive.
Yes.
With all the eyes dotted with like a heart.
Baba
Yaga. Man, I want him like dripping blood.
Get artistic with
Hell yeah.
For once, I agree with Josh on subtitles. Sean, you had more things you weren't enamored with in this film.
Okay, a few more. One, music. This is a problem I have with maybe every action movie now, but there are no themes anymore. No movie has a theme anymore.
Right.
There's just no... This is what did it to me. I was watching Days of Thunder. Mm-hmm. And this was old school Hans Zimmer.
If I'm not mistaken. What was his name? Cole something?
That's him.
Cole Trickle.
Doing themes.
Right.
There's so many fucking themes, and there's epic moments, and you feel them because there are themes. That music helps. It's not only just every theme now in an action movie is just
and it's all written by a guy named like Bear McCreary. It's just no, I totally agree. Like when you think of the classic action movies of our time, like what is Terminator without bashing 2 trash can lids together going bum, 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 bum. Like that's what I want and that's what I need.
Total Recall.
RoboCop.
Man.
I think Total Recall might be his best work.
It's amazing
because that is
Goldsmith shit on that.
That is so Jerry Goldsmith's fine. We've done too much Total Recall lately, and don't make me whip out this third titty. I do have like Kawatu and 3 breasts under here, but Total Recall is low key maybe the finest Goldsmith score.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's so over the top.
Yes, but that's the thing is. Right at the end, when they finally get the air and he's really tugging on the heartstrings, you're like, fuck yeah, tugging my heartstrings. I'm watching a movie. Make me feel. You make me feel.
I don't know if you saw my face, but I kind of stroked out when you mentioned the movie's music because
Yeah.
I can't remember any of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like I don't know
just-
what it was or what it is. Like, can you describe it to me? Because it's gone.
I think it is just just that kind of thing.
Right.
What about
there's a
like
few-
the days
go ahead.
whenever there was movies that had like a band just do the whole fucking soundtrack?
Yeah.
Like I kind of miss that in a way. 'Cause I feel like
Tangerine
Three Doors
Dream me,
Down-
Daddy. What if this
Three
movie had a
Doors Down LA.
Tangerine Dream soundtrack?
So
Whoa.
I was thinking Three Doors Down could just write a whole original score for this whole movie, and it wouldn't hurt the movie. I'll tell you that much.
Cameo from
That's insane, but I love it.
first ever cameo from my Dachshund Bobby. Allie, you may release the hounds now. Well, I talked about one thing I didn't like already, but probably my least favorite thing was David Harbour.
Yeah.
Like, I usually like that role, which
Who's
is
David?
kind of
Oh, you
like
talking about Stranger Things guy?
Hellboy, yeah.
Yeah.
New Hellboy.
Yeah, okay.
I love you, Hellboy. It's basically like not what I want from that performance. Like, because David Harbour's kind of gotten ripped. He's kind of too big of a star for that role now, believe it or not. And he just doesn't sell it. He doesn't sell the grime like I was hoping he would. He's too, like, he vacillates too wildly between being a piece of shit and a guy that you believe is his best friend and owes like a Wookiee life debt to. When he makes the turn, it's just very weird and very strange, and it's not the type of turn that we need for this movie. Because we could believe that there'd be sleazeballs amongst the mercenaries. We don't need to think there's a heart of gold first. And then furthermore, the script, which is by the Russos who did Civil War and stuff like that, is just horrible. But
Wait,
luckily
they
it's
did
saved by amazing set pieces and the script is not bad enough to where I'm like deterred by it at all. You know,
Oh.
like it fits the framework.
It's a
Yeah. I
Netflix
think.
movie, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not really a Netflix movie because that was a big budget, you know, like that was like sent to make big worldwide bucks.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, you could probably do a little bit better on that front, but honestly, just keep it brutal, keep it concise, give the actors something to chew on. Randy Puda does that, and then some. Chris Hemsworth gives it the old college try, but kind of like in Black Hat, he's just not there. He's not good enough yet.
Yeah.
Maybe one day he'll
Yeah.
be good enough, but he's just not there. He's so like ubermensch. It just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. You definitely don't ever worry about him.
Right.
You're never like, oh, John McClane. Oh God, John McClane. He's definitely gonna get killed by these guys because he's weak.
Yeah.
But him, you're like, oh man, he's too strong. He's gonna beat up all of India if he has to, and I hope he doesn't because that would be a hate crime and probably a genocide. So we don't want that to happen.
Right.
But back to David Harbour.
Yes.
I also thought that strangely it felt like they wanted us to feel sorry for him when he died, but I didn't want to feel sorry for him. Why did you make me try to feel sorry for him, the guy who was bad and screwed over his best friend?
I don't have a problem with stuff like that just because, like, a nice lingering death shot, you know, you can feel bad for almost anybody, you know.
That's true.
But you know, David Harbour, that's kind of a rock and a hard place because the kid who is the, I guess, the co-lead of sorts. I mean, there's nothing going on there. That kid's given nothing to work with, and he doesn't really do anything with it. So David Harbour's
His name
kinda,
is
go ahead.
Ovi is the character name.
Ovi, yes.
Ovi.
I hated
Go ahead.
the entire sequence with the David Harbour guy, or Harbour, however you fucking say his name. I hated it. From the moment he was like, "Hey, here to pick you up, boys," I was like, this movie is shitty."
It's very
rote. Yeah, I guess I did like the Oxycontin part. But
Like, if
after
you
that,
are going to have that turncoat scene, you need, like, Robert Duvall to, like, chew that scene up and spit it out. If you're going to do something that rote and trite, you need to bring your A game to that scene. Because that scene's been done 1,000,000 times by guys like Robert Duvall. I mean, this is a scene from every Sam Peckinpah movie. If you're going to go for the Sam Peckinpah turncoat shit, give me the full, you know, William Holden, please. Don't just half-ass it and be wearing cargo shorts. Give it to me.
May I lo mein once more?
Oh,
Give it
please
to
do.
me.
Okay. This is my final lo mein. I don't care about anybody's family, and normally I'm the guy who does care about.
Right.
I usually am like, oh, cool, let's hear about them so that I
You
care
love
about
the
them when they're getting
mythos
killed.
of Ethan Hunt and James Bond. You care about
Yeah.
who James Bond's brother is. You're the target audience.
Yeah, of course, this is perfect for me. I was especially. My thought was that the reason they showed Saju's family is just he must be a huge star in India, right? That is
Right.
the only reason. Because otherwise, he is just an evil guy who becomes a good guy, and we don't really care about his family at any moment.
No, they're just trying.
But
They try to create this weird, and this makes sense coming from the Marvel world, this family first thing. Where
Yes.
everything's really about family and creating a family out of a family you don't have and making your own family. And they just are kind of obsessed with that notion and bringing it back. I don't know how many kids the Russos have, but they got at least one because they just can't stop with this shit. And yeah, we didn't need that at all. Now, luckily, I feel like I had the best actor and the best character
Yes.
doing these scenes, so it wasn't as rough as when we have the like hazy Hemsworth's Aryan child on a beach that is clearly dead. And then they try to set it up like
Yeah.
it's a big revelation later that his kid is dead. It's like, no, dude, we get it. You live with a rooster.
Yeah.
That's not just single dad food. That's
No.
like single widower. Your child is dead. You're suicidal food. You know, we get it.
Exactly.
We know, but really, it's okay because at the end of the day, you get a guy, a badass Indian dude who looks like Lou Diamond Phillips with a W.C. Fields nose, double tapping people, and then Thor basically turning a shotgun into Mjolnir for half the film. I mean, it's got good stuff.
Yes, the action is definitely badass.
Yeah.
Lo mein, Josh?
Like the Stranger Things dude, I hated that entire. They damn near lost me.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a
Yeah.
dangerous place they go to. It's so predictable, and the performances are not there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
like
even the fight between them is not that great.
not
Yeah, 'cause-
even close to being good. It's an overweight dude and a Greek god.
Okay.
Rolled around for a little bit.
Furthermore, yeah, exactly. Furthermore, if you're going to do that role and you're not going to get a badass actor like Robert Duvall, get like Mark Dacascos and have a badass fight
Yes.
scene. Get one of the guys from Raid Redemption and have a badass
Yes.
fight scene. It's just a complete flaw. That whole part is just a big flaw.
Yeah, and to keep with like Robert Duvall, you could have got like an aging like actor. You could have got like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah!
Maybe I'm just
Oh.
a fan.
Oh.
Imagine whenever he's like, I got to call in a favor, and Jean-Claude Van Damme pulls up in an SUV. You're like, holy
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
And then the
not
fight during that,
Stranger
they
Things
could cut
guy.
out a lot of fuck. I realize that he's probably on the company dole or whatever, the fucking Netflix, so they have to put him in something every other day. But I mean, Jesus, man, imagine JVD in there, just
Yeah.
in there, and you know it's going to turn into a fight. So whenever he's over there having fever dreams about kids on beaches, and
Yeah,
trying to get
JCVD can be doing the splits, man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever JVD goes, hey man, I'll be back in minutes. I got to talk to my wife. And everybody goes, oh, he's going to double cross. That's exactly what's happening. And when he comes back in, he karate kicks the fucking door open, and they just go at like John Wick. This movie was like if John Wick was like in middle school, you know, just kind of learning how to be John Wick.
Right.
Not
It's
the
kind of
John
weird
Wick that
because
we get to see graduated from college with a master's degree. You know
we
what I
get
mean?
this John Wick character, and then suddenly he's fighting the coach from Bad News Bears, and it just doesn't work for me. It's Vic Morrow is not the correct bad guy here. I will raise your JCVD play elevator pitch. Steven Seagal beating the hell out of kids with his weird Aikido mind control moves.
That would be
Ooh.
Come
With
on.
the beard? With or beard or without the beard?
Or if they do keep Stranger Things, man, they could
Yeah.
easily, instead of making him like fist fighting, just be like, no, I'm going to blow your fucking brains out. You know, just shoot. Just be like,
Sure.
listen, man, look at me. I don't fight no more. You can see it.
Right.
And then he just, you know, Chris Hemsworth comes at him and he just fucking like shoots him in the leg.
Indiana
Or, like,
Jones
you know,
style.
some sort of, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Raiders Lost Ark shit. That would make me enjoy that sequence more. I'd be like, well, at least this build up for something. Instead of
Yeah.
just Obi coming down and very shooting that gun, which obviously he's never held a gun or a baseball bat or done anything that a young boy does in his life.
I feel like we are trashing the movie too much, though, because
That's true.
I don't know for sure, Josh. How did you end up on this movie? Like, what was your final, your summary judgment, as it were? Render judgment, Josh. Render a verdict. Give it to us.
If you're in the mood to have an action movie playing in the background while you clean the house, I honestly felt that way. I didn't hate it by any means, but I will admit I was kind of into it. I was like, okay, it's kind of surprising now. They are overdoing the long cuts, and then all of a sudden Stranger Things, and I had to get to know them a little bit, and none of it was compelling, or did I care about it? So I just went.
Follow-up question, just to see if our witness perjures himself. Did you, in fact, watch this movie, Mr. Lewis, while cleaning up the house?
I moved around the puppy a little bit.
This movie, these action scenes demanded your full attention, Josh.
Hey, the action scenes.
You're guilty.
You can handle the fucking truth.
The whole damn system's out of order.
No, I mean, I will admit, as soon as I keep on saying the same thing, as soon as that, like hey, we're going to stay in this really nice house and let you guys take a shower in the midst of like a fucking war or whatever.
Right.
It just kind of was like, okay, this is where the movie loses me. And there's movies out there that's lost me and got me back pretty well. This one lost me, and it just kept on where I was like, please, more action. Okay, cool. The action's there. Please do not start bringing in love interests or any kind of kid. Oh, there it is. Please start shooting more stuff.
Sean, riddle me this. Yeah. Was this a half-assed John Wick or the promising debut of a new action auteur? I can't remember the director's name. I'm sorry. I'm sure you've got it handy.
I can look it up. Keep asking me a question.
Sam Wadman? I don't know.
Jim Goldden. Oh, where the fuck is he? Oh, God damn it.
I'm excited about what this guy's career can be. I mean, they certainly gave him the money and the star power behind it for his first movie. But for me, I mean, this could be hinting at something bigger and better for this guy.
This could be Aliens 3.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Because Aliens 3 is fun.
I was thinking more like if the director of Roadhouse, Rowdy Harrington, went on to make more Roadhouse movies. I think that's more the level I'm at before we proclaim him the new Fincher.
So Fincher just made that movie because he was told to and he needed the money. And you could kind of see what he was doing, and you could kind of see the lighting and the way he liked to direct stuff in that. And then he went on to make other movies like that, where he was like, okay, now I'm going to take more of the reins, and instead of making, John Wick Jr., I'm going to make an action film the way I want to make it. That's what I meant.
Right. Sam Hargrave is the filmmaker.
Yes, sorry, I was just about to tell everybody in the whole world that his name is Sam Hargrave.
I got that Randy Puda trigger figure, man. I got that Randy Puda.
You went very fast. My response to your question is I would absolutely watch more movies from this guy. I think that this was a mostly badass movie.
Yeah.
There was the action I thought was fucking cool.
Yeah.
And also frequently brutal in a way that John Wick is.
Right.
So in some ways maybe it is kind of as almost every action movie that is any good now is like a kind of John Wick kind of ripoff. But I mean John Wick is kind of the Raid ripoff, so everybody's ripping everything off.
I hope that this style of action we don't get desensitized to it, but I'm certainly not there yet.
No, I mean it's a style of action that is so much fun because you get to see people getting super badass, and you get to see like people getting stabbed in the eyeball, which is a fun little horror element in there. Like it makes it more brutal, it makes it more rough. I thought of one more Euro while we're talking about that. Our man, Chris, in his shining moment, kicks a table across the room and crushes a guy's head or something. He hits him in the head at the very least. That's fucking badass. It's so good. Stuff like that is like, there were so many bits where I was like, oh, that's a bit that I just haven't seen. I haven't seen a guy get hit in the head with a table before. That's fun.
I was about to comment on how I liked the color palette, but really I just need to get out of the way and let you guys talk about kills. Best kills.
So I don't know if this is the best kill, but it was one of my favorites. towards the end, whenever the gorgeous lady that may be a man was like aiming her sniper rifle trying to find who was like picking off Chris Hemsworth on the bridge, I thought that was excellent. I just loved how it just showed her go through like every window trying to find him, and then like it built tension over there on the bridge,
right,
just to find him and just peck him right in the eye. Which I mean is kind of cliche because that's
I have never
sniper.
ever seen a film that featured two snipers in a heads-up competition where one of the snipers did not take a round through the scope into the eye. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I've seen it. I read it in Sergeant Rock comics and stuff growing up, and it just doesn't happen. And I assume that in sniper school, you can only kill via shooting through the scope and through the eye.
Yeah. To get the pink mist, you have to hit the scope.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to find her name.
I think that
Yeah,
about
I
does
find
it
her.
for our look at Extraction. Please join us next week. I think we're just going to keep it at Wednesdays at 9 Central Time, 10 Eastern Time. You can still download the podcast wherever it is you download podcasts. You can still catch us on Instagram at FoodCourtCast. You can still check us on Twitter at FoodCourtCast.
FoodCourtCast, yes.
And Josh, why don't you tell them where they can find you on the internet?
At BJosh from TN on TikTok.
Hell yeah. Nailed it.
We're TikTok.
He is on TikTok. It's
I'm
a nightmare. Don't go on TikTok.
30 minutes right before the show started. I signed up for TikTok.
You're doing a great job.
But thanks for coming into our homes. As much as we miss our theaters, we'll keep doing this for you and for us. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
On.
Bone, 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 bone.